In this video, we'll be reviewing how to find scale factor and what the difference is between scaling from a large to a small figure and from a small to a large figure. So in order to find scale factor, the first thing I'm going to want to do is find my corresponding sides. Now, both of these figures are similar to one another. You'll see right here that we have two rectangles. This one is 10 meters tall, 8 meters wide. This is 7.5 meters tall, 6 meters wide. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go from my small figure to my large figure. So I know that my arrow is going to be pointing this direction towards my large figure because that's what we're converting to. So the first thing I need to do is find the scale factor. So I know 7.5 times a number is going to give me 10. So I'll write 7.5 times my scale factor, I don't know what that is yet, equals 10. I'll divide by 7.5 on both sides. And 10 divided by 7.5 will give me my scale factor. And I'll actually get that this is, once I split this up, I'll get that my scale factor is 1 1/3. In your calculator, however, it will look like 1.3 repeating. Now, I haven't proven that these are similar quite yet, but I do know that my scale factor going from my length to this length is 1.3 repeating. You'll notice that my scale factor is actually larger than 1, and that's because my figure is becoming larger. Now, I can also use my 8 and my 6 to help me solve this. So you'll see right here that I'll multiply my numbers over here. 6 times my scale factor equals 8. I solve on both sides for s. I divide by 6 on both sides. And again, I'm going to get that my scale factor is 1 1/3. But if I put it in my calculator, it will look like 1.3 repeating. Now this is only my scale factor going up. You notice that both my scale factors are the same, so I know that these are similar, and that my scale factors are each of both larger than 1. Now when I scale factor going down, it's a little bit different. So I'm going to erase this so that there's a little confusion. And now we're going from a large figure to a small figure. So I'm going to multiply 10 by a number to get to 7.5, and 8 by a number to get to 6 meters. So I'm going to multiply 10 times a number, my scale factor, equaling 7.5. Once I solve for s on both sides, I'll get that my scale factor is equal to 0.75, I should say. That's 0.75. Or you could also write it as a fraction as 3/4. Now, I know that this is times a scale factor of 0.75. Also, I can check here. I know that 8 times my scale factor is equal to 6. I solve for s. I divide by 8 on both sides, and I'll get the same scale factor of s equaling 0.75 in my calculator, or this is also equal to 3/4. So you'll see again, when I'm scaling up, my scale factor is larger than 1. When I'm scaling down, my scale factor is less than 1. Let's go through one more example. Here we have two figures that are similar. The first thing that I'll do is find my scale factor going up. So I know that 4 times a number is going to give me 5. So 4 times s is equal to 5. I'm going to solve for s by dividing both sides by 4. And s is equal to 1.2. Or in your calculator, it would be 1, or not in your calculator, but if you used fractions, it would be equal to 1 1/4. I can check this again. I know that 12 times the scale factor is equal to 15. I'll divide by both sides by 12. and I'll get that my scale factor is equal, again, to 1.2 or 1 1/4. Now when I'm scaling down, I know that my scale factor will have to be less than 1. So here I'm going to go this direction from 5 to 4. I'm creating a smaller figure. So again, my scale factor should be less than 1. So I'm going to have 15 times my scale factor, which we're trying to find, is equal to 12. I solve on both sides. I divide by 15 on both sides. And I get that my scale factor is 0.8. And I can check again. I really don't have to. But I can check here and say that 5 times my scale factor is equal to 4. I divide by 5 on both sides. And I get that my scale factor going down from a large figure to a small figure is equal to 0.8. So again, one of the key things you have to remember from this lesson is that if you are creating a large figure, going from a small figure to a larger figure, your scale factor will be greater than 1. If you are going from a large figure to a small figure, your scale factor will be less than 1.